Bitcoin price is now pumping back above $90,000 and showing no signs of stopping as huge amounts of volume starts to return to the markets. This means right now there are a huge range of different trading opportunities that are looking really good. In this video, I'm going to talk about the trades that I'm personally looking to get into. I'm going to talk about the Bitcoin dominance, which is flashing an incredibly important signal that we haven't seen happen for at least the last 5 months. And this could indicate that the altcoins are about to explode like you have never seen before. This is a really important video, so hit the like button and let's go find out what I'm trading. Now guys, welcome to the School of Crypto. Unlike my main channel, the House of Crypto, on this channel we're going to focus much more towards trading the markets. Also, we're going to look much more towards tutorials to understand how to maximize our gains during this crypto bull market ahead by identifying key narratives, strength indicators, and much more. So if you want to up your game in crypto so that you can maximize the amount of money that you're able to make over the next 6 to 8 months, then make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell turned on so that you can keep up to date with all of the videos I release here. Now guys, jumping across to the Bitcoin chart, I'm pleased to say that Bitcoin now finds itself back above $90,000 and crypto is once more looking much stronger. If you've been subscribed to the House of Crypto over the last few months, you will know it's because Bitcoin is closely following global M2 money supply. Don't worry, this video isn't going to be completely about M2 money supply, but all you simply need to understand is this. M2 money supply is basically the total amount of money in major economies. It includes cash, checking deposits, and anything that can easily be turned into money. Don't let this confuse you with global liquidity index, okay? The global M2 money supply is what's been driving crypto over the last few months. It does it with around a 10 to 12 week delay. So whatever signal the M2 money supply is putting out in 10 to 12 weeks is reflected in Bitcoin and the altcoins. This allows you to call market dips, market tops, etc., and is an incredibly useful tool. To get it, just go to tradingview.com. Go to indicators and just search for M2 money and select the top one here. Now, if you're on a weekly chart, you're going to need to make sure that it says 12, okay, which is 12 weeks. If it's on a daily chart, then obviously you need to increase the number for days, okay? But that should give you a clear indicator of where we're going. And all you really need to know for now, guys, is we're going a lot higher because this is showing no signs of stopping and is just going up and up and up. And as long as the dollar, the US dollar, continues to fall like it has been doing over the last few months, then guess what? The M2 will continue to surge because China's printing money like crazy, the EU are printing money like crazy, everyone else is printing money like crazy because they can, because the dollar is weak right now. And soon the US will cut interest rates, they will start to do quantitative easing, and the whole thing is going to go bananas. But right now you're seeing the very early stages of the banana zone that everyone's been banging on about. But the most important thing that I want to pay attention to right now is not the Bitcoin chart, but it is in fact the Bitcoin dominance chart, because it holds the keys to whether or not there's going to be an altcoin season and when that might be. Now, I know, over the last few months, lots of people have been crying for altcoin season, including me. I got very excited that we were going to have an altcoin season around here because we did have a mini altcoin season. If you could think back as far as November and December and think about some of your altcoins, I bet you were making some serious returns, only to then go and give them back to the markets later on. While that was going on, things were looking pretty good for our altcoins, right? We are now eyeing up a dump that is on this sort of scale for our altcoins. This is what we're looking at that's going to blow our whole portfolio up like you have never seen before. What on earth is this? If you have not seen it before, basically the Bitcoin dominance is basically the percentage of the whole market cap of crypto that Bitcoin represents. So right now, all of the money in crypto, 64.5% of that money is held in Bitcoin. Now, at the start of a bull market, which we're going into again, okay, we have been in a longer term bull market because Bitcoin did start this one at $16,800, which was down here. And yes, this is a bull market, even though we've been in some form of a short term pullback. That's not been that short term, I know. Basically, Bitcoin's been going up since then. Okay, so Bitcoin's been rising since the FTX crash, literally. And as that's happened, altcoins have continued to die off against Bitcoin. However, right now, there is a very important signal flashing on this chart. Well, two signals, if you want to call them that. And the first one is this, although it's not really a flashing signal. You can see that the Bitcoin dominance is now running up into this zone. As you can see, we have a lot of wicks towards the upside here, indicating that there is potential for weakness for the Bitcoin dominance up around 65%. Now, up around 65 or up to, let's say, 66%, there is a high chance that we see a little bit of a turnaround in this zone. But there is actually another signal that's much more important than this one. Now, you're probably wondering to yourself, why does the Bitcoin dominance keep going up and then eventually come down? At the start of a bull market, money is flowing through various different areas. We go for a 4-year cycle, right? Which is a period of compression where there's interest rate hikes, where we go through bear markets and all these other things. And then we go through a period of expansion where governments pump money back into the markets. If you want to learn more about this, watch my other video I made yesterday on the House of Crypto. It will explain all of this to you in more depth. But ultimately, as money moves from low-risk assets like bonds into real estate, into S&P 500 shares, into various other stocks and things, eventually it finds its way down into crypto. First of all, you find its way into Bitcoin, and then it goes down the list of large caps, into smaller caps, into the degen like meme coins, into NFTs and the blow-off top crazy end of the market. Bitcoin is the lowest risk asset within crypto. Okay, that's why it rises first as that money comes into the market, and eventually, once confidence is there in the market, and we start to see risk conditions come in, the altcoins will explode. This typically happens around now, okay? Anyway, right now you can see the Bitcoin dominance is going up into a key area, but there's 2 signals we want to look at. And the first signal came up around here. You see at the bottom, we've got this purple chart drawn on here. And if we jump across to a daily, it's going to be even clearer. On the bottom, we've got this purple chart, which is a relative strength index. You can go to indicators and search for relative strength index, select this top one. It's going to give you this purple chart. Now, the strength is basically the momentum of a price, okay? And the top is the price. The relative strength and the price are like friends. They tend to go in the same direction most of the time. Price goes up, strength goes with it. Price goes down, strength weakens with it. Okay, this is really important because when they go in different directions, suddenly it creates an imbalance in the market and it creates a signal that we could be about to move in a different direction. And this is very important because this has happened before and it's starting to happen again. You see, when we saw that exciting time at the end of the year last year, we saw the price of the Bitcoin dominance going higher. Okay, you can see this move here. It goes up and puts higher highs in, right? You can see that going up in the direction. Now on the bottom side of things, at the same time, we saw the relative strength index going lower. Bitcoin dominance was going higher, but it was weakening as it went higher. Now think about this. Maybe when you're a little kid, you built yourself a go-kart that didn't have a battery or an engine or anything like that. Not like these new age kids with all their exciting stuff. Back in my day, you were lucky if you could find a hill to roll down. Now, let's say you had a hill to roll down and on the other side is a hill towards the upside. As you rolled down that hill, you probably got faster and faster until you went up the other side. You approached it pretty fast, you went up a certain amount, and guess what happened? As you continued to go higher and higher, your cart ran out of steam. Eventually, that cart ran out of steam enough to a point that you started to go backwards down that same hill. This is what the relative strength indicates. Bitcoin dominance was going up the hill, but at the same time, it was weakening in momentum, indicating that there was a good chance that at some point you would see a shift towards the downside. Guess what's happening right this second? The exact same thing. The Bitcoin dominance is going absolutely skyward. It's surging up the other side of that hill right now, but guess what? The relative strength index is kind of going not completely down, but it's lowering. Okay, not quite as intensely as this, but this is a very, very good indicator for us right now that we could be just seeing the very first signs of what's called a bearish divergence. Okay, price is going up, but it's losing momentum. When it loses momentum enough, guess what? It's going to come down. And right now you can see Bitcoin's just gone above $91,000. It's a pretty exciting day to be in crypto, particularly if you've just been involved in crypto over the last 3 or 4 months. If you have, and you've been still tuning in and following the House of Crypto and supporting crypto and understanding and learning more, congratulations to you. Good work. Let me know down below the major things that you've learned over the past few months. Also, do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the like button, okay, to support the work that I do. Very kind of you. Now, this is really, really key, and I was talking about it earlier over on my Twitter page here, okay? Make sure, again, if you're not following me, Peter_THOC, because a lot of the data and information that I bring out in my videos, I'm sharing all the time here. This is the USDT dominance. It's dumping. Remember, the dominance represents its percentage in the market. People are selling stablecoins right now to go into the crypto markets. All of these indicators are telling you that this move was about to happen before it happened today, okay? If you'd been following me over there, you would have caught this move perhaps earlier, but don't worry, we're still early. This is telling us right now that the markets are going to start to turn around and we're going to see some altcoins seeing some good moves. But guess what? If we jump across to crypto bubbles right now, you're going to see that there's a lot of altcoins that are seeing some really good upside, like Altcoin for some reason, and Tau Potenza and a handful of others. But you're also looking at your ICPs down 3%, and Fetch AI is down 4.9%, and Filecoin's down 3.8%, and XLM is down 1.6%. Why are these not all pumping really at the same time? Well, guess what? These coins pump for different reasons. I told you on a video I made yesterday that some of them are pumping because they're getting influencers talking about them. You're getting market makers pumping liquidity into them. You're getting a whole range of other reasons. But really, the reason that they're not all pumping massively right now is the liquidity is yet to flow from Bitcoin into the altcoins. That's all you need to know, okay? If you're holding some of these altcoins, perfect. Good, okay? That's why we hold a broad portfolio. But what we need to realize is that right now, looking at this, is that there are a lot of coins that will start to pump that are giving us a fantastic opportunity for entry. Now, as I look across this chart, I've already got one in my mind, but other ones shout out to me. Now, when it comes to trading and day trading, we want to focus towards the top 100 coins because they have bigger volume. ICP, 2.8% down. I know that this is a popular coin and we'll see some strong upside as the market improves. And it will improve and sentiment will improve as we start to see Bitcoin and everything pushing higher. XLM, interesting. Filecoin. Keeping these in the back of my mind, I'm going to jump across to the charts and have a look at some of these. Now, I also have already looked at XRP, which I think is a very, very interesting one because XRP is up 3.9% right now, which isn't that much. And actually, if we look at the XRP versus Bitcoin chart, you can see that this is in a very, very strong region. Remember, we are focusing on the Bitcoin dominance starting to fall off there right now. So it means that any altcoins that are bouncing in a key area against Bitcoin, as soon as that Bitcoin dominance falls, are likely to springboard and see some significant upside. So on the short list is XRP. If I was to take a trade on XRP right now, what would I be paying attention to? Well, we can see this downtrend. We can see that XRP is running into this downtrend. As I speak, I would be happy enough to bang in a long trade somewhere around here with a stop loss underneath these recent lows, okay, which gives me, up until at least this high here, a 3 or near enough a 3-to-1. We can actually go a little bit tighter on a stop here, and that gives us near enough a 3-to-1 risk to reward. It means if I was to risk, let's say, $100 here, I have the opportunity to make a $300 gain. Just going into XRP, because I forgot to tell you those prices. Take profit at the top was 2.57. As you can see on the stop loss was around 2.02. Entry was somewhere around 2.16, possibly a little bit higher now because it's moving up. 2.17, also good enough. Now obviously go away and look at some YouTube videos talking about risk management in crypto trading. I will make a video on that in the coming days, I promise. Okay, that's going to give you more of an education into this. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to catch that. There's just so much going on and there's so many videos I can make in a day, but you get the picture, right? There's lots going on right now. We want to be in a 3-to-1 risk to reward trade. Why? Because if the market turns around against us and I lose $100, guess what? I can have another crack at this another day, and eventually I'll make my $300, and that will cover me for this particular downside. Although I really don't think that we're going to get the downside now, because Bitcoin is pumping. XRP versus Bitcoin is literally bouncing in this key zone where every single time, pretty much, it bounces perfectly. Yes, I can see these wicks as well as you can, but you can see this is clearly the line of support to pay attention to. Right now, we're starting to see this getting bought up. That, for me, is a very key indicator that XRP is still a strong trade to be making, okay? Does it go higher than this? Absolutely, but we're looking to lock in some profits. If you really wanted to, and you wanted to go for a bit of a longer trade, you could perhaps, you know, keeping your stop loss there and aim towards the top of this here, and then you're looking at more like an 8 or a 9x. That would be even more exciting, okay? XRP is a good lineup right now. What were the other ones we said? ICP, the internet computer, one of the most popular projects surrounding crypto. ICP, as you can see right now, has had a pretty rough old time over the last kind of few months since back in December. And it's pushed all the way down to a very, very interesting area for us. As you can see on this chart, we draw a box across. We're on a bullish day for crypto. Let's make it green. You can see that the big green candles coming out of here indicate that there was a lot of buyers positioning themselves in here before ICP pumped towards the upside. And guess what? Now ICP is arriving back in this area. It looks like a very, very good trading opportunity for us. If we look at the ICP versus Bitcoin chart, you can see it's looking a little bit weak, okay? But the fact is, right now, the Bitcoin is pushing higher and higher. Bitcoin dominance is going to top out very soon, and when it does, this is going to start to rip back towards the upside. ICP and other coins are going to benefit from this. And we can see right now, the fact that ICP is yet to start pumping too strongly from here is why I'm looking at it right now, okay? I appreciate SUIs and the Aptoses and stuff that we looked at the other day have been pumping like crazy. That's why we looked at them the other day, and we took our trades the other day. If you want to go and see those videos, I also took a trade on Ethereum, then make sure you check those out if you want to learn more about why I was taking those trades. But anyway, this indicates to us big buyers are willing to step in and around this zone. Look, the price gets back in here, price starts to move again. Markets are looking pretty bullish. And what does it give us? What is the benefit of getting into a coin like this right now. If I was to take a trade, if I needed to put a stop loss in because I was like, well, if this doesn't play out, then I'm wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong and out the market because we need to be able to cash out if we're wrong. So we can put a stop loss in very, very closely under this box, okay, around 3.953. Now, jumping back to the ICP chart, the beauty of this is we can have a really, really tight stop loss around 3.955 and back to the highs that we saw back in November for ICP, which is a very good chance of us arriving again at. Because of what? Because the global M2 money supply is pumping towards the upside like crazy, because the Bitcoin dominance is about to fall off the face of a cliff any day or any week now, and that's going to send us much higher. ICP appears to have found support here. This particular trade is a 10-to-1. It means I can risk $100 down here, and if I'm wrong and the price goes down here, I lose $100, but I can make a potential of $1,000. Okay? I have an opportunity at a 10-to-1 trade. This is really good. Now, people might be like, well, why wouldn't you just buy this on spot? So if I buy $100 on spot, how much money do I make here? It goes up, I make $200. So I end up with $300 here. If it goes down here, I keep my money. It's less risky, of course. Less risky because I still have my money I can sell if it comes down here. But chances are you're not going to sell. You're just going to be holding on forever. Okay? Right now, with the markets stacked in our favor because they're really, really low but starting to show strength again, this is maybe why I would go towards having a little bit of a risk here. Now, again, this $100 represents whatever you're comfortable with. It might be $10,000. It might be $1. Don't risk any more money than you can afford to lose down here, okay? You need to be okay with this hitting a stop loss. Because why? If we're entering into trades that are going to give us a 10-to-1, a 5-to-1, and we're doing this every time, we don't have to be right that many times. Do you get what I mean? If I enter 5 trades at 5-to-1, if I'm wrong 3 times and I lose $300, on that final trade, I'm going to make $500. I'm going to have a net profit of $200. This is what trading is. It's not trying to avoid being wrong at all costs. Because if you try and avoid being wrong, you get liquidated and you end up losing everything. Okay, you have to accept losses are part of the game, and you have to take small losses and make your wins as big as possible by stacking yourself in the right direction. Now, I believe ICP will have a fairly strong bull market and probably push up towards the sort of 36 to maybe higher range, giving us a better, longer range trade. Right now, you could enter the trade, you could just bring your stop loss up and trail your stop loss behind your trade as you go up, and then if the market pulls back against you, you cash out, and then you start to look for other trading opportunities. Now, obviously, this is just a few trades that I've looked at here. XRP, ICP, what else? XLM hasn't really been moving much right now. It's completely different from what a lot of people are probably doing right now, because a lot of you are maybe looking at trades and being like, oh, I'm missing out because other projects have been pumping today, like Sui's up 11%, and I'm holding XLM, it's up only 4%. So you're selling your XLM to jump into Sui. Meanwhile, we all bought Sui last week on the trades, and now we're kind of like letting it ride, and now we're looking for trades in the projects that are yet to pump. That's what you should do. Go the other way from what everyone else is doing, because that's why most people lose money. Now, as you can see, XLM pumped up nicely back in November when that dominance was falling down. Dominance falls down again. I can pretty much imagine that XLM is going to pump with it as well. As you can see, again, gives us a perfect entry here. You got an entry there. Stop loss sat around 18 or 0.189. And then you can have a take profit all the way up here, towards previous highs was that 4.5x, around 59 cents. Okay, I will show you in future videos how to enter into some of these trades. Okay, we entered into trades the other day in the last couple of videos, not yesterday's video, but the 2 videos I made before that. Make sure you check out those if you want to start educating yourself in trading. This channel is going to be much more casual. We're going to go through things step by step so that you can work alongside me with this. Now, I'm going to go and enter a trade on XLM using pretty much all of this. Okay, it looks perfect right now. ICP, I would say probably does give us a really good return, but maybe I would like to see a little bit more strength returning there before I'm going to consider jumping in. XRP as well, I don't think you can go too far wrong. I think this looks like a good setup. So XLM and XRP probably the best bets as far as I'm concerned right now. Avoid taking trades where we're already seeing big recoveries like this. This is a trade we put in the other day on Sui, and you can see it right now. But what happens is the higher we go up to here, the bigger we have to have our stop loss. If you have a big stop loss, like let's say the price gets up here and we have to have our stop loss down here and our take profits here, this is completely wrong, because it means if we lose very big, and if we win, we don't win much at all, which means we have to win multiple trades to make up for any single loss. Okay, Now guys, hopefully that's been useful and interesting for you. If you are looking to trade any of these different cryptos, then I recommend you use an exchange that doesn't require KYC and has really low fees and a huge range of different crypto coins, as well as some of the lowest fees market-wide. That's why I personally use Bitunix, which is linked down below in the description. I also use WEEX and MEXC. Right now, Bitunix has a huge deposit bonus on where you can deposit any different amount of money and you can receive Bitcoin back as a kind of cashback offer, which is pretty cool considering the Bitcoin price is starting to surge towards the upside. So don't hang around on that. Make sure you go and cash in and get yourself that Bitcoin cashback so that you can enjoy the best of that reward that's available over there. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, notification bell turned on. Make sure you subscribe to my other channel, the House of Crypto, and follow me over on Twitter to keep up to date with everything that's going to go on. We have a very, very exciting 8 months ahead of us, a crazy bull market, and things are going to be really good. So I hope you're going to join me for the future videos. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.